Are there aspects to your day that you feel as if you're just, checking the box? Do you ever strive to reach out of your comfort zone, become uncomfortable, and level up? Privileged to be your host, this is Jason Wabick. Now, let's uncheck the box. A great day to everybody out there. Again, my name is Jason Wabick, host of the Uncheck the Box podcast, where today we continue our journey in our quest to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. My friends, what a great weekend. I hope it was as great for you as it was for me. Weather is just absolutely dynamite. Great to be outside officially. It's great to see people outside. You know, we're out at the community pool today, and last year at this time, it was pretty scarce. You know, not many people out. It's just great to see everybody trying to get back to normal. You know, and man, it's just good for the head, good for the soul. Just good vibes out there. And so I must say, I come here to you today, taken to the mic, somewhat prepared. I planned out a couple bullet points here. But my gosh, life is crazy. Life does get crazy, doesn't it, right? But, I'm committed. It takes discipline. I've said I'm not going to put a time frame to each of these episodes. If it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a half hour, whatever it is, it's going to be what it's going to be. So appreciate the time that you spend. And I think some of the feedback I get, and a lot of you do like the fact that they're quick nuggets, get in and get out, and it's great for those commutes in and to and from work, right? So play it in the car and get in, get out, right? Quick to the point. Anyway, today we're talking complacency. You know, I was listening to a podcast, as I'm a very avid podcast listener, I shared with everybody, and I was listening to a podcast by the gentleman named Dave Anderson. Look him up. He's got the Game Changer Life and podcast, and he talked about his 4 pillars of decline. So he basically was all about decline starts in the middle of success. And in there, he talked a lot about complacency. And I said, ooh, that word right there kind of struck a chord with me, because we could break that word down specifically in itself, right? And in that episode, he talked about how, when we become successful, success tends to breed complacency. And then complacency leads to loss of focus, which loss of focus leads to inconsistency, and then inconsistency then in turn breeds decline. And so, again, that's Dave Anderson. Those were his 4 stages of decline. It's not what this episode's about, but that whole success breeds complacency really, had me take a step back and say, let me look into this a little bit. So, dictionary.com, the definition of complacency: a feeling of quiet pleasure or security, often while unaware of some potential danger, defect, or the like. Self-satisfaction or smug satisfaction with an existing situation, condition, etc. So that is the definition from dictionary.com. So a couple things to ponder. You don't become what you want. You become where your habits take you. Okay, we may want to go a certain direction, but it's our habits that are going to actually take us the direction that we're going to go. Another thing, what I'm doing is just fine, right? Just fine. So we oftentimes say that to ourselves. What I'm doing is just fine. My friends, be careful. Okay, the comfort zone is dangerous. We've talked about that over the course of the last almost 6 months now, right? The comfort zone can be dangerous because we become complacent, and yes, we start to believe that what I'm doing is just fine. My friends, we should be happy, but also dissatisfied. Let's not confuse the two. I'm not saying to be unhappy, okay? We all are entitled to happiness, but let's be dissatisfied more often, right? If we stop driving then we ultimately don't become the best that we can be. Okay, so we have to be very careful. And yes, success does breed complacency. And it pulls us, that gravitational pull, into that comfort zone. It could be absolutely detrimental to our career. If we assume that the status quo will remain, okay, we're setting ourselves up to be blindsided. So just be careful. So what can we do? Well, number one, we can be aware of it, okay? Of course, we should be aware of it. We should be aware of our successes, okay? We should be aware that we are entering that comfortable zone and that we are enjoying some successes. And we also kind of see ourselves becoming satisfied. But that's where we continue to push ourselves into that unknown. So we identify what still is fearful to us, okay? And then if we enable ourselves to embrace that fear and we continue to push ourselves into that uncomfortable zone, then we start to own it. Okay, we name the fears, we own our fears. We own our successes as well too. And then last, we take action. Okay? Seek out the cure for this complacency. If you are motivating others, my friends, to learn more, become more, then you are delivering the cure for complacency. So again, what can we do? Number one, be aware of our current situation. Be aware that we are settling and we're becoming comfortable. We're becoming okay with the status quo. Number two, owning our situation, but also owning our fears, recognizing our fears, naming the fears. And number three, taking action. Taking action, throwing ourselves into that uncomfortable zone day in and day out, in good times and in bad, and having focus, not allowing ourselves to be complacent and to be content. That podcast I referred to from Dave Anderson, he talked a little bit about that success. Success drains urgency, and we get away from discipline. That's the thing. We've worked, my friends, hard at becoming disciplined creatures, right? And forcing ourselves into these new habits. And then we wash it. We see it, watch it wash away on us. And a lack of effort then leads to a lack of focus. Here's the problem. There's no immediate concern, right? It's not like the success came overnight. And much the same, the lack of success doesn't come overnight. You see, there's this, as Dave talked about in that episode, there's this grace period, and we can catch it, okay? We can catch it. Just like I said, be aware of it, own it, and then take action. Because if we don't take action, over time, we're going to revert right back to where we started, and we're going to have to learn these habits and disciplines all over again. Isn't that what complacency is, right? So my challenge, everybody, is, and there's some industries right now, experiencing some significant booms. And I happen to work in one of them in the automotive industry, And this is what I've been talking about with a lot of my coworkers. We are enjoying some success right now, but let's not become complacent. Let's continue to drive forward. Let's not forget the things that we did to enjoy these successes, right? Leading up to all of that, those habits we created and the disciplines we instilled. Let's not forget that, because it's going to be way tougher for us to have to relearn all of that. So everybody, that was my nugget for you this week. Let's not be content. Let's watch out for this thing, complacency. It sneaks up on us, right, my friends? It sneaks up on us. It can get us when we least expect it. So just take a step back. Take a few moments today, tomorrow. Just reassess where you're at, Find ways in your day, analyze your day, and say, can I continue to push myself? Am I becoming a little bit complacent? Am I a little bit too comfortable? Can I become a little bit more dissatisfied? So then this way, I know I will absolutely give myself the best chance to be the best version of me. My friends, I always appreciate you. Every week I say that. Very grateful for this time. Hope you have a great rest of your day, a phenomenal rest of your week, and we will see you next time. Appreciate you, everybody.